Okay, back on the bench is this Bernina. Last time we were in here, we needed belts. So, I ordered belts. And now it's time to get them installed. So this machine has 2 belts. I'm going to... They're different sizes. They're both odd sizes because it's Bernina and everything is weird size on them. But I'm going to guess this black one is the motor belt because it's a bit smaller and goes lower, and then the big belt goes up top. So let's get our pulley out, and we don't need that yet. There's our bobbin case. Alright, got a clip for this pulley. Now I need to, oh right, I got it loosened up, so, okay, my guess was right. So the belt, the upper belt goes on first, and the small pulley is on the back side of this idler setup. So we'll take our hand wheel and throw our belt on there and pop it in place, and then we'll get our there's a washer that just popped off here, so I'll stick that in there. And get our E-clip on. All right. And then those belts are both plenty tight now that they're new, so I'm gonna just put my finger here to tension this a little bit and then tighten the 2 hold down screws that hold our big belt bracket, the bracket with the pulley on it here. Yeah, that is plenty. Nice. Alright. Put a dab of oil under that hand wheel. And then put our clutch wheel on, and I got an ear okay. I got that clutch up the wrong way, so we'll swap this around, and now we've got one ear facing directly up. When I tighten this up, there, it's almost straight up, so that should be the lineup for that. And there's our pin screw to hold that in place. And then we've got this cover. Yeah, okay. Just double checking that the other motor cover didn't go on first, but no, this can go on just like so. Although before I put this cover on, I'm going to put a dab of oil on that jack shaft. And that should be more than enough oil for a very long time. So, yeah. Alright, new belt's in place. We'll get the rest of the covers on and start testing this machine here. You can see where the old belt rubbed on this cover, and it looks like the new belt is going to be close to rubbing on this cover too. So that might be why that belt went, is because that belt rubs, but those belts are in there as tight as they go. So get these. There we go. That's this that goes on there. And I guess I have this off. Rub under that spool pin spot. Okay. Alright, all these levers seem to be working still, so we'll get this plugged in and get a look at it. Alright, the Bernina's all wired up, and it's making a zigzag, but at the medium tension setting, the black thread is the top thread. It is yanking that top thread through like nobody's business on that zigzag. So, and that's why you need proper thread tension. I pulled that bobbin thread straight out without any effort, because if it pulls the top thread all the way down, then there's no lock stitching happening. It's just a couple loops of thread. Alright, so let's shorten our feed. And raise our tension a bit, although yeah, now we got bunching. And it's still pulling the upper thread. So on a zigzag, that is way too much tension. So we'll just there. Loosen our bobbin tension and get bobbin thread out. Still pulling through the bottom. Alright, loosen this a little bit more. Okay. It's getting better. Alright, let's try some of these decorative stitches. So gotta get on top of this to see where the knob is landing. Let's try number 3. You have to switch the lever to the decorative stitch setting. Alright. Look at that. And it's not tugging too bad. Still I'll lighten that tension up on the bottom. Boy, somebody really cranked this bobbin case tension up. This is almost a turn that I'm reducing it. There. Okay. Alright. We'll go back to our zigzag check. Do our last okay. That final adjustment on the bobbin tension did get us closer to even, and then that much improved our other decorative stitches. I think fresh belts has really set this machine in order. Now try our straight stitch. We've got our needle position that's available here. Let's put it in the center and just do our long straight stitch. Alright. This is a very nice machine now. Alright, this motor suddenly got really weak after the belt replacement, so I'm gonna pop this cover off, double check that we're not getting any rubbing from that motor belt, because remember when I looked in there before, the motor belt looked like it had been rubbing on this cover. So with that, the motor cover in place, we can remove this cover. Nope, that's not rubbing. So let's plug ourselves back in. Maybe there is a bit too much tension on these. So I'll unplug. So if you over-tension the belts, then the motor can't get up to speed. To turn. Yeah, the motor's still not very fast, so it's not over tensioned here. Yeah, I will tighten these back in place though. Alright, well, I guess we'll have to pull this motor and give it a tune-up. Check it out. I thought that it was going to be in good shape once those belts were set, but clearly it's unhappy. So we'll pop the cover off here and pull the brushes and just check the brushes quick, because if you've got really filthy brushes or misshapen brushes or uneven brush wear, that can really affect the power on these motors. And if somebody was running it under a lot of stress and strain, I don't remember if I oiled that spot, but put a dab of oil in that spot. Now, here's the top brush. Oh, there's a lot of spring up under there. A lot of brush in there. Doesn't look bad. But since we got it out, we'll take the brushes out and get our Q-tips and alcohol here. Oh, I see there's a starter capacitor on this motor, so that could be. Oh, and look at how filthy that brush holder was. Yep, we're gonna need to get the bottom holder out so that we can turn this and clean both these brushes. And then with the oh yeah, this brush is covered in oil, so I'll have to wipe those brushes down with alcohol. And how filthy that. So you have to oil the bearings on your motor, but if you get oil in the there, get that loose, and then Alright, I'm going to finish running alcohol through these brush holders and cleaning this up, and then we'll put it back together and see if that restores our power. Okay. All these Q-tips are from the filth in that motor. And with the oil and the oil built up removed from the brushes, we've got much better power again. So that is a quick tune-up for any machine, is just cleaning those brushes. So you find them all full of goo. All that goo is preventing the brushes from working properly. So, alright. Well, we've already tested the stitches, so now that we've got the power back on this, I think this Bernina is ready to return home.